20th of February 25, it's Thursday, and I'm just looking at this. It's a CNN poll that's just been released today about Trump and how well he's doing in that. And I didn't even realise that I downloaded it, so I've not really looked through it myself. I've only skim read a few of them. And here's how has Trump handled the presidency has he handled it as you expected? Well, that's a bit of an odd question because I would say yes. He's done a lot of crazy things, so yes, but I think they're meaning yes, and he's doing well. So 75% are saying he's done it as expected. 25% no. Regardless whether you approve or disapprove of Donald Trump, do you think the way he has handled the presidency so far is in line with what you expect of him? Oh well, that's clear then. And let's see. As expected, good thing 41%. As expected, bad thing 33%. As expected, don't know, nobody. Unexpected way, good thing 5%. Unexpected way, bad thing 21%. So that's interesting because that's maybe his supporters or some of his supporters. And that's it really. And on to the next thing. Question 4. What do you think is the single most significant action he has taken in his so far this year in his second term? Immigration is the main thing, 28%. Elon Musk, Doge, etc., 12%. Dismantling federal agencies, cutting Fed workers, etc., 10%. Reducing government fraud, waste, spending size, 9%. Tariffs, 6%. So that's quite interesting. After that, it just really drifts down to almost nothing. And what else is there? I'm wondering if there's any big ones like economy policy, prices 1%, tax policy 1%. So what is the next one? I should say that I think polling is very important. It's almost more important than voting. Oh, you should vote, but even just to spoil your paper. But I don't believe in you should have to go to vote by law like they do in Australia. I don't believe in that because you have the right to not want to vote at all, So, but I do think the polling, I think the Swiss electoral system is the only one that's a real democracy, really. Because in Britain we only get to vote every 5 years. That's ridiculous. But I think if in polling the government is under 10%, they should call an election, basically. Because if you're that low, you've really no support at all, really. At the moment Labour are around about 23%, 24, 25, I don't know how. But anyway, so I think polling is really important, more important than opinions, basically. Because I think even, say Trump wants to put tariffs through, that should be put to a vote, a referendum vote. That's what I think. Probably something in Switzerland, that's the way it would happen. But, yeah, on to the next question then. Question 5. Has had the right priorities, 45% the first week, they say. No, now, actually, they say. Hasn't paid enough attention to the country's most important problems, 55%. And for Joe Biden, in comparison for 2023, they thought he had the right priorities, 31%. Hasn't paid enough attention to most important problems, 69%. For me, the problem for the West is mass migration. There's mass migration and everything else. And you could say multiculturalism as well, if you're allowed to say that. Kemi Badenoch did say the other day that in a speech that some cultures are better than others. I didn't know that would be allowed to be said in Britain, Thankfully, that's a king's new clothes moment, emperor's new clothes moment, really, I wouldn't even put it that way myself, but yeah, if you want to go along with that, yeah, well, yeah. So And this is why I'm thinking maybe in the last year Biden hasn't paid enough attention. Maybe because he seemed to have an open door policy in the southern border, whereas Trump straight away has done stuff about immigration. Maybe this is what people are silently telling you, although we don't know really, because it's all bundled up. We vote for parties, unfortunately, and their party hampers and the president's fancy, basically, because he's doing lots of things he never said he was going to do, you know. Let's see what else we got. Question 6. What best describe your feelings as you look ahead to the rest of Donald Trump's second term as president? Enthusiastic, 46%. Oh no, net enthusiastic. So 46% are enthusiastic. 54% are afraid. So 20% are optimistic. 26%. No, 20% are enthusiastic. 26% are optimistic. 18% are pessimistic, and 35% are afraid. Well, what he's doing in Ukraine just now, he should be very afraid. And also, he referred to himself as a king yesterday when he took away sort of congestion charges in New York. He said, "God bless the king" or something like that. So it really is looking bad, I think, in terms of dictatorship. I mean, he's almost explicitly said he's serving a third term if he's still around and that. And then he wins, or possibly if he doesn't win, he's changing the legal system. I mean, to me, it's got a dictator vibe. And I agree with Bernie Sanders, what he was saying. I thought this myself anyway, but it's feeling like an oligarchy dictatorship, really. And that's maybe why he's in bed with Russia and even China, probably. Or he's saying bad things about China just now, but he probably wants it to be China, Russia, and therefore the West need to have a dictator via Trump to deal with them, you know. Because Russia's a tiny country, really. I mean, their economy is about the 10th of the size of the EU, or it's about the size of Spain, their economy, you know. Really, they've only got oil going for them, I think. Alright, on to the next one. Yeah, let's see. What am I on anyway? Question 9. Which best describes your view of democracy in the United States today? Okay, this is very important. American democracy is under attack, 45%. Yeah, I would have been under that. American democracy is being tested, but it's not under attack, 39%. So these are two big amounts. American democracy is in no danger. This is really where you should be, 16%. Although looking at that, last year people were saying American democracy was in no danger, 6%. So they're even less. So I don't understand that at all. I don't know. I think this year that it really matters, this question, you know, probably the last 4 years under Biden, it didn't matter at all, really. But, the next question, do you think the Republicans in Congress are doing too much to support Donald Trump? 48%. The right amount to support Donald Trump? 37%. Too little support Donald Trump? 15%. I don't know what you make of that. For Republicans, they're saying too much support for Donald Trump, 12%. Democrats are saying 34%. Too much. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, they've changed it around. I was going to go right down. That's two. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, no, they haven't changed it around. Too much to up. Yeah, they have. Oh no, that's a different question. Like, I thought I would. Okay, right. So Republicans, 12% say too much to support Donald Trump. 64% say the right amount. 24% say too little. So, yeah. But all the Republicans are really scared, totally. All the career ones are totally scared, including the ones in their 90s or whatever. And do you think the Democrats in Congress are doing too much to oppose Donald Trump? 34%. The right amount? 23%. Too little to oppose? 43%. And among Democrats, that's too much to oppose, 5%. The right amount to oppose, 22%. Too little to oppose, 73%. So that's a lot among Democrats. Question 12. How much do you trust the US Supreme Court to make the right decision on any legal case relating to the Trump administration? Well, Trump appointed a lot of them, so I would say not at all for myself anyway. They say 13%, 11% say a great deal, 30% say a moderate amount, just some of the Supreme Court say 30% and not at all, 29%. That's not really any different from last year, last October, or so that's weird. Here's another one, question 7. How's ICE working out? I don't know. Do you think Donald Trump has gone too far when it comes to using the power of the presidency and executive branch? Gone too far, 52%. Been about right, 39%. Not gone far enough, 8%. Quite a lot of things gone too far. I would say gone too far, but it depends if you like what he's gone too far on. I mean, immigration, I would definitely say not gone far enough, probably actually. Cutting federal government programs, gone too far, 51%. Been about right, 32%. Not gone far enough, 17%. I mean, I would maybe even pick no opinion there because I don't know, but I'd say probably gone too far. Deporting immigrants living in the United States, well, I would say not gone far enough, probably at 16%. Been about right, 39%. Gone too far, 45%. So that's about a surprise. I'll be all Democrats, but trying to reduce the price of everyday goods, well, he's probably done nothing. He's probably made it worse, actually. Not gone far enough, 62%. Been about right, 27%. Gone too far, 11%. Changing the way the United States government works. Gone too far, 48%. Been about right, 32%. Not gone far enough, 19%. It depends what you mean by that, because I think you need to get to the Swiss electoral system and have quarterly referendums and stuff. Referendums on Ukraine and that. So that would be changing it, not in the way he's going to change it, because he's going to take more power. So on to the next question. Giving Elon Musk a prominent role in his administration. So that's really, I've got bad vibes about it, but I don't know really. So I would have said no opinion even. I really don't know. Good thing 28, bad thing 54. Neither a good bad thing 18. So fair enough. People think it's a bad thing. Probably I think it's a bad thing as well. I think they're going to fall out at some point. And I think Elon Musk's pretty crazy. And he's got dictator vibes as well. I suppose that's what Bernie Sanders was saying. It feels like an oligarchy dictatorship, yeah, it does feel like that. Imposing a set of new tariffs, including tariffs on all Chinese goods and all aluminium and steel from anywhere outside the US. Well, I'm interested in this. If he was trying to replace income tax with tariffs, I would like to remove income tax on the less people. Not on the mega rich or whatever, but not unless you have to, you could, but on, people on 10, 20, 30,000. I know they've done it in Britain a lot, up to about 12,000. I agreed with that even before they'd thought of it. It was the Lib Dems that I think brought that in at first, and then people in 2015 voted the Tories because they thought they'd brought it in, but yeah. And now the Reform are saying they would take it up to 20,000. Yeah, try and get away from income tax, but in my opinion, government is a good thing, so I'm pro-spending as well, pro-government spending, as long as it's efficiently done, you know what I mean? That's the big thing. I think that's the big problem that nobody really looks at, I don't just mean waste, just mean things are set up wrong, even the NHS and stuff. There is a lot of waste, but not in the way Elon Musk would go about it. Genuine waste. So, imposing a set of new tariffs. So I'm interested to see what happens, because this is an old socialist thing, It was so you would keep all your industry in your own country and that. So I don't know about this yet. So I would pick no opinion or neither a good or bad thing. But I'm thinking it's probably going to end up a bad thing, or people would have done it before. You know, I don't know. This is the one thing on tax that Trump seems to be having interest in. He wanted to do it first time round, but he was too scared because he had lots of neocons. He had lots of professional politicians with him that time, and he was too afraid to try things. This time he's doing whatever he wants, and he's got in lots of crazies rather than professionals, you know, like Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. Even though she was a professional, she was a crank, really. I mean, Biden was going to do that big spending thing, and I think she stopped it, her and another one, Mikowski from Alaska or whatever. You know, it's unforgivable what they've done, really, because that could have been a really big thing. Because I'm quite a believer in, what do you call it, Keynesian, or in theory anyway, you know. I mean, would you like all your roads tarmacked? Well, how about paying for them, you know? So say, imposing a new tariff. So tariffs, good thing 34%, bad thing 49%, nah, good or bad 18%, no opinion. That'd be me probably. So I really don't know. I'm interested to see how this goes. Because like I say, it would be good if you could remove income tax from, say, ordinary taxpayers. Say that. I mean, I'm in favour of hidden taxes like VAT or tourist tax or luxury tax, you know, these sort of things. Especially things where people waste money like on luxuries and goods and stuff, you know. Uh, so that's interesting. I'm interested in this one, saying that the US should take over Gaza and that Palestinians should not have the right to return. So I'm interested in this, so I would definitely say that's a bad thing. So, good thing 13%, bad thing 58%, neither good or bad 29%. So that's interesting because very few see it as a good thing, and you would have thought there were those of his fan base that bought Melania coins would be in favour of anything Trump says. So they're saying 13% there, so that's really interesting because I wonder if he'll start backing off from that now, you know. We don't even know what he has planned. I mean, to me, I think he's just going to hand it over to Israel, but maybe it'll be Trump for a period. Maybe Trump will have a hotel, but it'll be over to Israel. But it is cleansing, basically, so it's interesting that he hasn't got his really support base even for that. I mean, he's probably got a lot of the American Jewish community, you know, so that would be like, I don't know, they're like 5% or something. So that's interesting. Attempting to shut down entire US government agencies such as the US Agency for International Aid and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Good thing 28%, bad thing 53%, neither good or bad 19%. So that's interesting. He's still not got a big support there from his own base there. Because when I say his own base, his approval rating is about 45% just now. So he's not really got his own base fully on with that. I mean, to me, it just seems reckless, you know. But as I say, if you can cut down on waste, great. But I doubt you're just going to be able to go in with a hatchet, you know, straight away. I mean, I wouldn't have much confidence in Elon Musk being good at it or whatever, you know. So, ending diversity, equity and inclusion efforts in the federal government. Well, I would definitely say that's a good thing. 37% say good thing, 42% say bad thing, 20% neither a good or bad thing. So 37% is still not that many, you know, you're getting close to his approval rating, 45%, but 42% says a bad thing, so it's quite a lot saying neither good or bad, I don't know, 1% of no opinion. So, that's interesting. Is that it then? I think that's it. Yeah, that was quite interesting. They should have asked about Ukraine as well. Well, like I say, I think politicians should do polls all the time on Twitter and Facebook and for the constituents, you know, rather than just having their own opinion on things or using the government whip to opinion things. So polls should be very much used and it should be used in political programmes, so you know if people don't have support of something. You know, it was a bit like the transgender thing when Nicola Sturgeon and Keir Starmer were going on about it and that. And I was thinking, how many people are they talking about? 10%, 5%? What are they talking about? I think they're talking about 0.1% or something. You know, once you know that, it's sort of, you're thinking, well, I don't know really, but you know, really we need stats and polls. What we don't really need so much is opinions, you know, because you can hide your opinion if it's not a thing. Like Trump's making this statement about Gaza and he's only got 13% support for what he's doing, you know, so when it's that low, you know. Okay, that's my point for just now. Bye bye.